There's not many people who are left from the Cloverly days, and Emil's representing maybe one of the last 3 or 4. So there's no one back there, and there's Ty and
I admire my colleagues who've spoken so far with mostly. I've had a few notes, but I'm going to rely on my notes tonight because I have to. I'm actually feeling pretty emotional about this one. So, Amiel has many qualities and attitudes that many people, their whole lives, grapple to get more of. He has these naturally. I'll say 2 things and then I'm going to explain, give examples. He embraces life. He seems to have the energy to meet an exciting opportunity with all his present talents. And I'll give examples. I don't say this lightly. I really mean this. And 2, he finds joy, and this is something that so many of us know that this is so hard to do. He finds joy in the recognition that something is worth doing for its own sake, not for something else, other purpose. So, some examples. Number 1, he's into the physical. Somewhere along the way, Amiel seemed to discover that the body is the vehicle that we've got for experiencing this world in. Now I really relate to this. But it took me years, it took me decades to really understand this. So people know him, know that he loves the body. But does everyone know that he finds a state of flow, like absorbedness, and through the specific physical activities, through the strain of the body, and that's the straining his body to new heights, and that brings a soaring sense of vitality, being truly alive, which is physical, but it's also a mental experience. So some would say it's spiritual experience, and it's also art. He knows what I'm talking about. So he and I talk about this kind of stuff, but we actually don't have to say very much because we both know it, that the way this kind of intense physical movement, it creates, maybe it'll sound a little trippy, but it creates, where we got that from, too, like just creates, the physical intense movement creates this sort of unique space for intellectual freedom. So again, that soaring sense that he seems to know intuitively that already at his age, that a mind moves well when the body moves well. Many dancers, athletes, etc. know these heights. And he works hard to find this flow, this art. At Windsor House, a few years back was mentioned the challenge course, the outdoor challenge course that Verity did. That might have been, Verity and I were talking the other day, that might have been an experience at Windsor House that may have sort of help this along, just or at least unleash this passion. Just about the possibility of just doing a little more each day than you think that you possibly can. Feel the pain and keep pushing harder. And that's what endurance is about. And right now, the activity that he's mentioned that he's mostly into is cycling, is racing. So this is his teacher, his body, and the limits of human experience. So that brings a sense of self-satisfaction and achievement, but also quickens his instincts, which makes it possible to go further the next time, and it builds trust in this evolved machine, for lack of a better expression. And at Windsor House and in his loving home, he was and is encouraged to pursue these passions. So now he leaves here with the philosophy of all it takes is all you got, kind of thing. But make no mistake, this was something that he discovered on his own. And I think if you're lucky if you can get in touch with that kind of thing. And I mentioned it, I say this at kind of art as well, because he also, I think of him when I think of art, because art has always been important to him as well. He sees the world artistically and recognizes and celebrates art, the artisticness of things in the world, and he's passionate about spontaneous creativity. But it's all these things are about following the yearnings of his own soul. So he's not somebody that was ever going to wait to be taught about how to live life. And so following his own soul's yearnings has always been important to him, and he's just always done just that. So you could call him a nonconformist, because he does this. He truly follows his own way, and he makes his life a work of art, I think. And but the thing about his nonconformism, and I'm just wrapping up here, is that about this part. He's not a nonconformist in order to reject other people. And this is where I think he's actually exceptional. He's a true revolutionary in the sense of being a nonconformist while truly loving the diversity and all the unique quirkiness of real diverse people, humans all around him. He's not just about enjoying the company of nonconformists. Yes, he does enjoy that, and he needs that inspiration, he finds it there, but he's confident enough in himself and what he knows to be true to not be anything but kind to those around him. So he chooses the life-giving path. And so and I think, again, all the wisdom of all the ages would teach us that, and we're all grappling with that. And so he's not just, some people would call him an old soul or something like that. I mean, if you wanted to say that, or just that, it's something that it is striking that he has already at this age. It just comes to him naturally. He would find these qualities, you think, in a wise, and not even that is rare even then, in an older person, not my age, somebody you think has been really around a long time. So anyway, he's not just setting out on the uncharted journey of his life. He's been doing that his whole life, and we're not just losing a great role model for the people coming up behind him, but for all of us. He's our teacher. Somebody in his family said, "Oh, were you part of the raising of him, and I just instinctively said, oh, he raised me, like he raised us. And I feel a particular loss, and I consider you a friend, very dear to me, and but I know you are a little more an inspiration about just that you've only got one life, you gotta go out and live it and just feast on the banquet of life. He has that excitement and enthusiasm. And we will miss you, but I know you'll always be part of our community, and I know we'll always have a connection.